What's up, you guys? So I'm guessing you've heard of the modes of the major scale, your Ionians, your Dorians, your Phrygians, all that kind of good stuff. But have you guys ever heard of the non-modes? So I'm guessing you've heard of the major modes before. You know how there are 7 of those modes, 1 for each degree of the scale. So I just decided to pretty much apply the major scale in a different way, in a different fashion. So you know how you get a mode from the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 7th. I just decided to apply the major scale to the flat 2, on the flat 3, on the flat 5, flat 6, and flat 7. So you get 5 different applications, 5 completely new applications to the major scale. And you can actually do this with any scale out there, with the pentatonic scale, melodic minor, harmonic minor, whatever it is that you want to figure out some of those non-modes. Kind of came up with these on my own. I figured them out on my own, so I didn't get them from a book or any lessons or any videos or any stuff like that. So that being said, there's really no names out there, or at least that I know of, for these types of applications. So I'm just gonna call them non-mode 1, non-mode 2, non-mode 3. And I'm also gonna call them by their application. So flat 2 non-mode, flat 3 non-mode, flat 5 non-mode, flat 6 non-mode, and flat 7 non-mode. Now, before I get on to the actual lesson, I want to invite you guys over to my Patreon account. So I'm actually gonna set up a PDF over there where all of the information to these non-modes. You can actually find all the different intervallic constructions, some of the chords that I found within those formulas. You can find the different application hacks, pretty much every single thing that I found out about these non-modes. So if you're interested, head over to Patreon, sign up on the $5 monthly tier account, whatever. And it's pretty much as if you're buying me a cup of coffee a month for some interesting information. Now, let's get on to those actual non-modes. All right, so the first one I'm going to be talking about is the flat 2 non-mode. And this just stems from that, D flat. So what would a C major scale be if you play it over a D flat root? None of these non-modes are going to have the actual root of the scale. It's going to be kind of difficult. Not difficult, it's going to be a little bit different to work out the phrasing. So my main thing is to just focus on those chord tones and you'll be okay. Now, whenever I work with stuff like this, which is kind of novel and it's not absolutely written out or it's not any common theory, I actually like to work with different enharmonics. That way you get more information out of the actual concept. So in this case, I created a flatted version and then a sharped version of the same formula. So the flat version we have is going to be flat 2, flat 3, 3, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 7. Now for the actual sharp version, it does contain flats because some of the notes are not going to be able to be explained through sharps. Like for example, a flat 2, because you can't really say sharp 1. So with the sharp formula, we're going to have a flat 2, sharp 2, 3, sharp 4, sharp 5, flat 7, and then 7. Now to figure out over which chords you can actually apply this non-mode, you're just going to look at the formula. So again, let's take a quick look at the formula and let's look at the different chords that we can build from there. So we have a diminished triad, a minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio or chord. We also have a dominant 7 altered chord. So any altered chord out there, you could do like sharp 9, flat 9, sharp 5, or more specifically, if you want it to work a little bit better with the scale, try to make it something that fits within the formula, and this is going to be applied to any of the other chords out there or non-modes out there. Now, other chords you can get is the augmented triad, a major 7 sharp 5 chord, and a major 7 sharp 11 chord. Now, this first non-mode is actually the non-mode I applied right at the beginning of the video. So I'm actually playing this first non-mode over a vamp that is made up of a minor 7 flat 5 chord and then followed up by a major 7 sharp 5 chord. And how interesting that you can play the same exact scale over these two completely different chords. Again, this just opens up a whole new world of possibilities with just different scales that you already know. All right, so with this first non-mode, a quick little hack that you can do is if you have any of the chords mentioned before, all you got to do is go half step down from that chord and play the major scale. So for example, at the beginning, I believe I am the key of C, so C minor 7 flat 5 going to C major 7 sharp 5. And all I got to do is play the B major scale. And that's your first non-mode. All right, now on to non-mode number 2, which is the flat 3 non-mode. Now this one has an intervallic construction of flat 2, 2, 3, flat 5, flat 6, 6, and 7. Now that's the flatted version. Let's take a quick look at the sharp version. So we have flat 2, 2, 3, sharp 4, sharp 5, 6, and 7. So again, we get a lot of sharp 4s, a lot of sharp 5s, bunch of different alterations. And this is something that's going to be common among these non-modes. Why? Because they are being fitted in those flatted positions. And again, if you look at the formula, you can start building up different chords like major 7 flat 5, major 7 sharp 5, major 7 sharp 5 sharp 11. You can get augmented triads in there. You can get like a major flat 5 type of triad. And again, it's all about getting creative with these different types of applications. Now with this second non-mode, all you gotta do is go up a sixth from whatever chord from the list that I already showed you guys, and then play the major scale from there. So again, go up a major sixth from whatever chord you get from the list and play the non-mode. And again, be very careful with the phrasing. You're not gonna have a root in there. So focus on the third, the fifth, or the seventh of the chord and try resolving your lines onto those different notes. Now on to the third non-mode, and this is going to be the flat 5 non-mode. And it has an intervallic construction of flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 7. Now again, that's the flatted formula. Let's go on to the sharped formula. And that's going to consist of flat 2, sharp 2, 4, sharp 4, sharp 5, flat 7, and 7. Again, take a quick glance at those different formulas and just start grabbing chords from in there. You can apply this scale over a diminished triad, minor 7 flat 5 chord, a minor major 7 flat 5 chord, or a 7/1 chord, one of those nifty slash chords. You also get a dominant 7 alternate type of application, and even a 7/4 application. Now again, very careful, very loose with these different applications, and keep in mind that some of them might actually sound very outside. So these might be a good source of information just to learn how to play a little bit outside. Now, as far as the actual application or the hack, all you got to do is go up a flat 5 or a tritone from whatever chord you want to play this scale over, and you're going to find this third non-mode. Next, on to the fourth non-mode, which is the flat 6 non-mode. Now, this non-mode has an intervallic construction of flat 2, flat 3, 3, flat 5, flat 6, 6, and 7. And then we have the sharped formula, which is going to contain the intervallic construction of flat 2, sharp 2, 3, sharp 4, sharp 5, 6, and 7. You can actually have a diminished triad. You can play it over a major 7 flat 5, major 7 flat 13, diminished 7 or fully diminished 7th chord. You can also play it over an augmented triad, major 7 sharp 5 chord, major 7 sharp 5 sharp 11, or major 7 sharp 11. Again, all you gotta do is look at the formula, construct some chords from those different formulas, and apply the actual formula, and you can use the little hack, the nifty hack that I'm showing you guys. And the actual hack for this flat 6 non-mode is to go up a third. So let's say you want to play this non-mode over a major 7 sharp 5, major 7 sharp 11 type of chord. All you gotta do is go up a major third from the chord and play the major scale from there. And now finally we're going on to the flat 7 non-mode, or the 5th non-mode, however you want to take a look at it. And let's take a quick look at the intervallic formula. So we have flat 2, 2, 3, flat 5, 5, 6, 7 construction, or intervallic construction from the flat point of view. If you look at the sharps, we're going to get flat 2, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, and 7. Pretty much we're just grabbing Lydian and substituting the root for the flat second. So this is going to be very similar, very, very similar to Lydian sound. And now in terms of the actual chords, you can see the major triad, a sus2 triad, major 7 chord, major 7 flat 5, major 7 sharp 11. Again, it's very, very close to being Lydian. So most of the applications will actually be a ton like Lydian. Now, being that this is the flat 7 mode, or non-mode is what I mean, the hack is going to be just go up a second from whatever chord you want to play the non-mode over. So if you have, let's say, C major 7 sharp 5 sharp 11, all you got to do is go up to that D major scale and just play the D major scale over the top of it. Again, and I cannot put more emphasis on this. Make sure to follow those chord tones, or at the very least resolve any of the lines that you're doing with these types of scales, because it's gonna sound a little awkward if you don't work around the chord tones. So, but again, the cool thing about these non-modes is most of the applications are a little kind of weird, actually, just to be honest. So you can get some outside sounds, or not too outside sounds, while still being outside. And again, always careful, because you're not going to get the root of the chord within these non-modes. Another cool thing that you could do is construct different lines from the non-modes and then actually resolve to that root, even though the root is not within the scale. But it will give you it will make it sound a little bit more secure and a little bit more inside. It'll make things a lot easier, just to be honest. All right, so that's it for this video. Remember, you can follow me on any type of social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Patreon, obviously on YouTube. So subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can also go to my website, juan.music.com. You can find my book, The Art of Scale Weaving, there. You can also find different private lessons if you're interested in asking questions on a one-on-one type of basis. All right, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.